Mr. Transformers 96 here with another update on the Transformers Studio series from the Bumblebee movie Dropkick. So I've made many videos about this Dropkick figure because I've been very interested in it, but now we have a few new, some new updated pictures that show me some new things that tell me a lot about the character in the movie, I think. So I definitely want to discuss it. So let's start. So overall, they did show some new images, a lot of new, like production images of Dropkick, which just give you a better look at the figure. Nothing that we really haven't seen before. What's the most interesting though is the in-package image does show you the artwork of the figure on the side, and that is quite revealing. So what I really want to talk about is the fact that, like in my past videos, I've been talking about how Dropkick is going to be represented in the movie and how the figure represents him, because the figure very much just sticks with all the flying bits of the character, and it completely leaves out any of the car bits. So I was theorizing that possibly towards the beginning of the movie, he could only fly, and then maybe later on in the movie he does get the ability to transform into a car and becomes a triple changer, and that's why his look is a bit different from the actual image that we have of him in the film. So I was hoping that maybe there would be another version of the Dropkick figure that is more car oriented and fits the look of Dropkick from the image that we have better. And it looks like that's not going to be the case, because if you can see the image that they have of him on the box here does have him with the tires. It does show him like with his car mode pieces. So most likely that is going to be the case where they've just kind of chosen to go with the, like they couldn't physically, or they couldn't afford to on a budget have this guy transform into two molds and have him or into two modes, and couldn't give him the proper pieces for transformation, and therefore they've just kind of stuck with the one. I'm very disappointed with this. I couldn't be more excited for Dropkick and Shatter in the movie, and I think that the figure is just so poor. It's really disappointing, because I was really looking forward to the figure, and this is definitely not one that I'm particularly excited about. I'm excited about it for the character, but the figure just looks terrible. First of all, the paint looks really off. I mean, obviously they're using a very dull gray when it should be a very dark gray, like a charcoal gray, kind of charcoal steel gray, and they're going with a very dull light gray, and then the only blue accents of it are very bright, and they're just they're kind of ridiculous when it should be a much darker darker glossy blue, and it should be in more places, but instead it's very sparingly used, and it's just really disappointing. It really doesn't represent the character from the image that we see of him in the movie. So I'm very disappointed, in my hope of getting like another Dropkick figure that was more accurate, that transformed into a car, is kind of gone at this point. I really don't expect it to happen, which is definitely disappointing. So personally, I'm absolutely going to get Dropkick because I'm excited for the figure, or sorry, excited for the character, but I think I'm going to really extensively change it. I'm going to do my best to try to make it more accurate. Hopefully I can do that with adding pieces, maybe changing out the legs, something like that, because his legs are just so skinny and ridiculous looking. But if nothing else, I'll definitely repaint the whole thing, give it a much more accurate color scheme, which I think will do a lot of the work for it, to be honest. But I'm hoping that I can just do one where I completely redo it, and I add the tire pieces, I bulk up the legs, and maybe add the car door wings, stuff like that, to really make it more accurate, because again, I'm really excited for Dropkick, and this is a really poor representation of him figure wise. So yeah, so definitely wanted to make this video just talking about it, considering I've kind of now with the image that they've put on this box, I think that it is very clear that he's a triple changer throughout the movie, but just the figure has just strictly decided to focus on his flying aspects and completely leave any of the movie accurate car pieces just completely out, because really, I mean, the figure, you have a bit of the cockpit on the chest, but then the majority of any of the flying bits are on his back, where it's just the engine and the wings. The majority of what makes Dropkick like his look is the car pieces. You have a lot more of the car pieces on him, including the front of the car, on the sides of his torso, the tires and multiple parts on him, and then the car door wings that really fly off and make a big statement. So they've just, if they were gonna choose flight or ground, they should have absolutely chosen chosen ground, because it would have come out more accurate considering more of the car pieces are on the robot than there is flying pieces, or at least the majority of the flying pieces are on the back, which is the least important part of the figure. So overall, I'm very disappointed with this figure. I'm incredibly disappointed. I'm really hoping that they do Shatter and that they do her in a much better manner. But overall, I'm excited to get this figure so that I can make it better personally. So there you go. That's my thoughts. This is my update on the Transformers Studio Series Dropkick figure. Let me know what you guys think of it, and thanks so much for watching.